Shalom. Peace. Your brother Azrai Hill. A Wisdom Wednesday coming to y'all. Um, Title of this video is Resist Your Devil, right? Resist your devil. And this is coming from the scripture of James 4 and 7, right? Which we'll get in a second. First, I want to give all glory and honor to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who sent his son as an instrument of salvation for the nation of Israel. It's our duty to fulfill prophecy and to bethink ourselves in the land of our captivity and to help the gathering of his people, right? As end time prophecy lets us know. Because if we're not gathering his people, then we're scattering his people and we're susceptible to those curses, right? If we don't know who we are, we don't know where we're going, right? Which is why Christ said he came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Because why? The lost sheep are in the prison houses, right? Thinking that they're nothing but a prisoner. The lost sheep are in the strip clubs, thinking that they're bosses and that thinking that they're celebrities. The lost sheep, right, are in schools looking to get degrees for validation, right? The lost sheep are damaging their body with drugs, right, and intoxication. The lost sheep are defiling their body with different foods and with mankind, right? So it's up to us to tell the lost sheep who they are, right? So that they can know where they're going, right? Which is hopefully to the kingdom to be a part of that elect number. So getting into the video, and shalom to everybody, peace to everybody that's gonna watch this video. Hopefully it is edifying, right? We're the hopeful elect. We say peace to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. James chapter 4 and verse 7. Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Right? Resist the devil. Resist your devil, and he will flee from you. Shalom to the brother Obadiah. Right? The brother is consistent. Shalom, we thank you for that, brother. Tuning in. Our lives can get hectic sometimes, but the brother, he stays on fire. He tunes into as many people's live streams and lessons and street teaches as he can. So, even though he's younger than me, right? That's a brother that I could look up to, right? He always remembers his first love. But Khan, man, so submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. So going over this video, right? Going over this video because what sparked my interest in this video? It was either last Sabbath or the Sabbath before that. A man came up to us while we were trying to give the word, which always happens. Satan always appears when you're trying to give the truth, right, of the Bible, right? And what we did was we just didn't pay him any attention until he left, right? And then after he left, we said, resist the devil and he will flee from you. And the people we were talking to, they got a kick out of that. A lot of times when you're out there on the street, they get a kick out of applying the Bible to real life because we have to show our people that this book is a way of life, right? It's not just something that you go to the Christian church on Sunday or you just buy a book of motivational quotes and Psalms and only the New Testament and you motivate your life every day. No, it's not just for motivation, it's to live by, right? So when you resist the devil and he will flee from you, it's talking about resisting your devil. Now, the devil just means to deceive, right? Adversary, right? So what is the devil in your life? That's what you have to resist, right? The devil in your life could be many things, right? The devil in your life could be, for example, alcohol, right? You might know that, you're playing with fire when it comes to alcohol. And you drink and you might get drunk, right? You know you get drunk, but you do it anyway. That's because you don't know how to chastise yourself. You don't know how to resist your devil. A lot of us have devils that we don't know how to resist, and we say, some people may, get spiritual and think, oh, well, Satan, he knows me better than myself, and these devils, they know me better than myself. No, you know yourself better than the devil. The devil just reports back from actions that you do, right? Satan just tries to tempt you from the things that you have allowed him to know about yourself. But you know better than Satan, right? You know better than the adversary. And your devil, you know that you need to control it, right? You know that you need to chastise it. I always tell people, what is chastisement, right? And I'll go to the example, right? Because sometimes people need to see the visual of chastisement, right? And how that word came about, and how they used that word back in the day, right? So chastisement comes from the word chastity, or chaste, or chase, right? If we put in chastity belt, right? You put in chastity belt and you go to images, what pops up, right? Now, this is, bear with me, right? Bear with me. Should have definitely looked that up before I went. But this is a good picture right here, right? Well, here's a better picture, right? So we could look right here at the screen. All right. So here and here is an ancient one, medieval times, ancient one, right? But this is the concept right here. So chastity belt, what is that? It's for keeping a woman's virginity. It's for locking up the box and throwing the key away, right? Um, Now let's be grown up here. What is it for? It's to stop pleasure, right? To stop her from being promiscuous, right? It's to stop her from uh acting out in lasciviousness, right? That chastity belt was to be locked, to make sure that she was not sleeping around, right? You might think, man, that's crazy. That's evil. It was medieval, right? And what would they do? They would unlock it if she have to use the bathroom, unlock it if her husband or man would want to sleep with her, but she was not to sleep with anybody else. That's that chastity belt. So taking that as an example, chastity or chastisement, right? Shalom to the brother.
Shalom.
Chastisement is what? Is restraining from the lack of pleasure. The brother said, that's real. Looks kind of like a diaper. Yeah, man, it looks kind of like a diaper, right? And what they did with our eunuchs was chastisement, right? Except for they just went to extreme measures by what's the word? By mutilating them, right? And taking away their manhood so that they wouldn't be able to perform in pleasure, right? But this was a chastity belt. When you see the chastity belt, now if you look it up for yourself and try to show somebody, they're gonna have some S&M, some sexually lascivious chastity belts of 2024 on there, but type in medieval or ancient chastity belt instead, right? And you'll get the memo. Anyway, a lot of us don't know how to chastise ourselves from our devils, right? Resist the devil and he will flee from you. A lot of us don't know how to resist our devils. Like the first example we brought out was what? Alcohol. A lot of us, don't know how to resist that devil. Brothers will say things like, we're gonna turn up in righteousness. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time and fellowship in righteousness. A lot of times in the truth, that's code for we're gonna get drunk and nobody say anything because it's a holy day, right? Nobody say anything because it's a Sabbath. Nobody say, but guess what, brothers and sisters? Resist your devil. If you know you're getting drunk, you need to resist and chastise yourself, right? Chastise yourself. It may be lawful for you, but is it expedient, right? It may be lawful for you, but is it expedient? And we have that scripture too. We'll get to it in a second, right? Another example would be partying, A lot of brothers and sisters like to party, and you might use the holy days and feast days to party and have a good time, and it might turn into reveling, right? Then it might bleed into your personal life, and next thing you know, you don't know if it's a sin or not, right? You have to be able to resist your devil, because guess what? It could lead you up. It could lead you to a place that you don't want to be in. So that could be a devil. But another one could be weed. Brothers may make all the excuses in the world and try to find deep passages and parables and secrets of the Bible to say that they can smoke weed, right? That may be a devil in your life. Resist your devil, right? Or another one may be porn, right? Keep in mind now, the beginning of this verse says, submit yourselves therefore to God, right? If you don't submit yourself to God, you're going to be susceptible to your devil. You're going to be susceptible to not resist the devil. So when we submit ourselves, right? Submission, for example, take your wife. She has submitted to you. She's resisted her will until it fades away, till she wants the will of her husband, which is in Genesis chapter 2. It tells us that the woman would what? Be ruled by her husband, right? So that's a form of submission. So you have to submit yourself to God and resist your ways, resist your wants sometimes, right? But like I said, another devil could be porn. Brothers could say, well, I'm not conceiving sin. James said that, it's only a sin when it's conceived, but before that, it's a thought, right? No, we're not trying to think. We're not trying to put ourselves in a situation, right? Married or unmarried, right? So, porn might be a devil, right? Another word for devil could be an addiction, right? So there's many things that you can be addicted to. Gossiping, right? You may need to so when we look at ways to resist your devil, you have to think of, when I get put in this situation, how can I turn away from it? When I get put in, I might need to step away from the computer if I'm addicted to pornography. I might need to limit myself on social media apps, because the world is crazy today. Everything pretty much is porn. If you don't know how to chastise yourself, you might want to get off those apps, right? When it comes to food, you might want to practice fasting more, right? If you know that you have a devil or a tempter in food, right? If you have a problem with gossiping, right? Say you in the world, you used to love to talk about people behind their back. You used to love to spread rumors. You used to love drama, right? You need to resist it. When you catch yourself finna talk about somebody, change the subject, right? When other people are about to talk about somebody, change the subject, right? Resist the devil and he will flee. Your devil will flee from you if you resist it enough. Because guess what's going to happen, right? Those monitoring spirits, those spirits that go back and forth that tell what you might be sensitive to let Satan know, hey, tempt him here, tempt her here. Guess what? They're gonna think it doesn't have an effect on you, and the devil, your temptation, your adversary, your deceiver will flee from you, right? And that's just like anything, man. You can make anything a habit. You can make a bad thing a habit, or you can make a good thing a habit, right? So what does it look like for alcohol? You might this alcohol, right? Because you're becoming an alcoholic. What does that look like? Man, get virgin drinks. When it's time to do that thing, right? Find grape juice instead of wine, right? The power of imagination, the power of placebos, right? Tell yourself that you don't need it. Resist, and you will eventually will stop craving it, right? If we go ahead and move forward, right? If the brother could read this for me.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse number 12. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any.
Right? So you shouldn't be brought under the power of any. The moment that you let your devil rule over you, right, and you don't chastise yourself, you're being brought under the power of flesh, right? And we were put on this earth to conquer our flesh, right? You shouldn't let anything fleshly drive you to do anything, because your spirit man should be bigger than your flesh, right? Your mind, your willpower should be bigger than these vessels that we're in, right? These vessels are only temporary, so you shouldn't let temporary pleasure make you do anything. You shouldn't be brought under the power of any, right? We say that uh we say you know, the Lord is one God. He's our God too. And we don't have any other God before him, right? God being power, that's the only power we should be brought under, right? Any other power is a devil. All right. And you got to resist your devil, right? I want to go here. I oftentimes go here just to remind us, like it says, like Christ said, and I believe what is it, John 10, I believe, and how it says in what is it, Psalms 82 or Psalms 60, Psalms 82, I believe. Isn't it in our law that we're gods? Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. You're a form of a God. You're a form of a power here on earth. How dare you say that you're a son of God and you're under the power of something simple? You're under the power of flesh. You're under the power of a low level temptation, right? And that's not to belittle anybody's devil or belittle anybody's temptation, but you got to think of it as that. You have to think of it as, you got to think on your judgment day, right? When you're being judged before the throne, it's going to seem so small then. Right now, it may seem big. Your devil may seem big right now. And you may seem like, I can't shake this habit. I can't shake this devil. But on your judgment day, your devil is going to seem small. You're going to think, dang, why did I let that affect my flesh so easily? So you need to think like that now, that, man, this devil is small. If I resist it, it's going to flee from me. That's the power that you have. That's the form of godliness that you have. You shouldn't deny that. The moment you give in to your devil, the moment you give in to your flesh and you don't resist it, you're turning away from the power that was God given to you. Right? Imagine if we read the Bible and the climax is Christ, right? We know the climax is Christ. Imagine you read the Bible and you get to the climax of Christ, and Satan had him up on a mountain and offered him the world, and Christ just said, "You know what, Satan? That's a good idea. Thou say it." What if he said, "Thou sayest, I will surely bow down to thee"? What if he said something like that? Right? We would think that's bugged out. We would think that's crazy. We would think he's supposed to be the son of God and he just gave in for having power in this world. That's how we got to think of ourselves. We have to think of ourselves as, we're sons of God. We're women of God, daughters of God. We shouldn't be bowing down to the power of anything, right? All right, so let me go here real quick. Revelation 12 and 11. If you could read this.
John, the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death.
Right? You got to, first of all, it says we're going to overcome our devils, right? That's the hymn. We're going to overcome, meaning it's already prophesied that we're going to resist the devil. The elect number is going to resist their devils and chastise themselves and know that that's love of God. And we're going to overcome by the blood of the Lamb, right? We know who the Lamb is. It's Christ, right? But I want to make note that it says they love not their lives unto the death. The moment you give in to pleasure, you love your life. The moment you give in to that thing that you know you shouldn't be doing, that thing you know you do a little too much, that thing you know that you wouldn't like to do out in the open, right? You find yourself doing things in secret. The moment you give into that, you love your life. And the only ones that's going to make it are the ones that love not their lives unto the death, right? A lot of y'all live for pleasure in this life. A lot of y'all live to, and that's why a lot of us are depressed all the time, because we're let down because our expectation of life is butterflies and roses and vacation trips. But we're not supposed to love our lives. We're not supposed to. If you're in a state of heaviness, if you're in a state of oppression, that's because God loves you and he don't want you to love your life. He don't want you to have a good time here, because he knows the people that are having a good time here, the people that love their life, when it comes down to it, if they have to choose their life or following Christ, then people are going to choose their life. We see it over and over and over again with these celebrities, right? They're picking money over their life, real life, eternal life. They're picking this life, right? All because they don't know how to resist the devil. The devil may come into you in a form of money. You might need to chastise yourself in shopping, right? Resist your devil. Every time you go out, you just got to buy something. Every time you go out and put your hands on something, you have to swipe your card, right? You need to resist your devil. You may say, nah, I don't need to go in that store, and just drive off, right? That's resisting your devil actions, right? Joseph fled fornication, right? From Pharaoh's from Pharaoh's woman, right? And Pharaoh's woman is not going to be ugly. The Pharaoh only took the prettiest girls to himself, right? That's why Abraham hid his wife twice and said that his wife was his sister, because he knew his wife was fair to look upon, and he knew that that's how pharaohs get down. So when Joseph fled, best believe he was resisting the devil, because he probably was attracted to her. How many brothers do you know, when an attractive sister comes to them, they're gonna resist? How many brothers y'all know? Not that many, because a lot of brothers will make that girl a second wife, a third wife in a heartbeat, right? In the truth, just because she looked good. But a lot of brothers don't take a chance to step back and think, maybe this is a devil in my life. Will I be satisfied if I get her, or will I want another one? And after that, will I want another one? As Paul's advice, even when you're married, you're supposed to live single. So sometimes, yes, brother, you could be, now don't get me wrong before I say this, the marriage bed is undefiled, but you could be having sex with your wife too much. And now you done made your wife an idol. Maybe you should fast from sexual acts and spend some time with the Most High, some intimacy with the Most High. Because guess what? It ain't going to be no sex in the kingdom. We did that lesson, right? It says that in, I think, Mark. I think it was I believe it was Mark, right? We're going to be like the angels in heaven, right? Neither giving in marriage or marrying, right? So we need to find the devils in our life and resist them, and be okay with the hurt of our flesh wanting and desiring, right? Another form of a devil could be what? You're playing with fire. You're texting, or you're going on your ex-boyfriend's page. You're thinking about what y'all had, and now he can't leave your mind. Or your ex-girlfriend, she can't leave your mind, right? You need to resist that. How about you don't follow them? How about you stop looking them up? How about you stop keeping up with the Joneses, right? That goes with coveting, right? The moment you feel yourself coveting a brother or coveting a sister and wanting what they have, you should take a step back and resist the devil. What does resisting the devil look like in that situation? Taking the time to love yours, like J. Cole said. Love yours, right? Look at your own house or wherever you're staying, your apartment or whatever, and think, man, I got it good. When I felt the homeless the other day, man, they didn't have nowhere to sleep but a bench. The moment you start coveting a brother's vehicle or a car, be like, dang, man, I got a working vehicle, man. I was able to put gas in my car yesterday. Some people don't even have money to put gas in their car, and they can't move their car. Or some people, don't have a car, The moment you covet somebody's style or style of dress, man, I wish I had money to buy that. I would buy. Think about what you do have money for, right? Stop coveting, right? Also, another devil could be fraud. When I say fraud, I mean the opposite of integrity, right? I don't know what the word for the opposite of integrity be, but not keeping integrity, right? That could be a devil, right? And the devil knows how to tempt you. He knows when to put shortcuts in your way. He knows when to put lies and deceit in your tongue and in your mouth, right? And make you witty and get out of situations. But guess what? You have to be like Job. You have to be like Daniel, right? You have to keep your integrity. The three Hebrew boys, you got to keep your integrity, right? Do it all. Even though it may not seem fun, it may not seem cool, you may not want to do it, you may be dreading it, but guess what? The Most High is seeing you resist your devil and keep your integrity, right? And He's gonna bless you for that in the end. That's called not loving your life to the death. That's what I tell people all the time, right? Never say never. Never say what you won't do or what you won't find yourself in a situation, because God will put you in there just to see how you will react. Oh, I never saw myself in prison. Now you're in there like Anthony Hamilton, sitting here. Guess I didn't make bail. Got time and a story to tell. You never know what situation you could be in, right? Another one could be pride. You feel yourself getting prideful and you know you're wrong. Go ahead. You know what resisting the devil looks like when you're prideful? Apologizing, saying you were right, saying, you know what, I'll try it your way. Resisting pride is resisting the devil. And guess what? Eventually that pride will flee from you and you'll be humble and you'll become meek. The Most High just wants to see if you're going to resist your devil, right? Let me see if I can find that. I can't remember.
It's going to be in the Apocrypha.
Right, Sirach chapter 4 and 17. You can read this.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 4 and verse 17. For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways.
Talking about wisdom, right? This is the Spirit of God. She will walk with him by crooked ways. Those crooked ways is the devil that you're supposed to be resisting. Those crooked ways it could be homosexuality. You keep playing with homosexuality. Your sister, you should be with a man, but you keep looking at all these girls on social media and commenting and putting heart eyes, and they think you're just being a sister, but you're really lusting after them, right? That's the crooked ways, right? Like I said, that porn, right? Drugs, all different type of stuff that you shouldn't be in, covetousness. That's them crooked ways that wisdom is gonna walk with you with. She gonna walk with you, right? The Spirit of God is gonna walk with you, meaning the Spirit of God is with us everywhere we go. There's nothing we can do in secret. You find yourself doing something in secret, that's a devil. Resist it, right? Keep going.
God, I want to add too, man. When you read this, man, everybody's seen those movies, those cartoon shows, man, where somebody has a decision to make and they got the angel on one side and the devil on the other side, or in this case, your devil on this side, right? And when you're facing that temptation, wisdom is that angel in them cartoons, right? Telling you, hey, man, you know you shouldn't be doing that. You know, if you do that, this, that, and the third is gonna happen now, right? That's the wisdom that's walking with you through these crooked ways, trying to help you make the right decision, man. When you really read into this, right?
Right. Hold on 1 second. And you know what? Sometimes the Most High will put people in your life to be that angel, right? On the right-hand side. And then, he's trying to line it up to where you have no reason to not resist the devil, but you somehow have convinced yourself, right, that the people that are for your good, you somehow resist, you somehow convince yourself that they're for your bad, right?
Right. It's like an alcoholic, man. Right. You seen the movies with the alcoholics, and they always end up in the hotel with the mini bar in their room, right? and they know what's gonna happen. Here's the mini bar, here's the drink, right? And you know they look at it, you get the licking their lips, getting that taste of that alcohol. They pick it up, put it back down. Pick it up, put it back down, because they know once they just have one, it done. And you know, crazy, the mini bars, man, them drinks be this small, but they know, man, that's all it takes to go down a long rabbit hole, right? And so that's that wisdom telling them, hey, look, man, you know what's gonna happen if you just take that one. And they be going back and forth in their minds. They pick it up, put it back down, pick it up, put it back down, right? And she's walking with you in them cases, right? And we're about to read it. And at a time, she's gonna leave you, man. If you choose not to put that bottle back down, right? But it says, and bring fear and dread upon him.
Right? Bringing fear and dread upon him, like the brother said, right? That fear and dread is you knowing what's gonna happen if you do, if you give in to the crooked way, if you don't resist the devil. That's the fear and dread. The thing about it is, when you come into the knowledge of the truth, you already know what your end's gonna be. Right. And that's the fear and the dread.
Like an alcoholic, man. That's why they keep picking up and putting it back down, because once you finally are on the path to beating alcoholism, right? The addiction of alcoholism, it feels good, but that fear and dread is knowing if I just drink one, it's gonna set me back 10 paces, right? That's that fear and dread, and it's gonna be even more hell to beat them demons this time, because what they say, when they come back with 7 more.
Right? And guess what? Wisdom, keep in mind, this is wisdom that's walking with you. Wisdom is bringing fear and dread, because, you know, wisdom, with wisdom, you know you're prudent, right? With wisdom, you know good and evil. With wisdom, you know what you're not supposed to do, and you know what's there for the crooked way. So that wisdom is going to bring that fear and dread upon you. Also, that means that wisdom is going to try you, right? Prove you. Wisdom don't know if she can dwell in you or not until wisdom proves you. It's going to tempt you, allow temptation. What the Most High was doing with Job was allowing Job to be proved, right? Bringing fear and dread upon him.
Right. What is saying in Deuteronomy, where it says, this shall be your wisdom in the sight of the nations, right? It says, behold, I've given you statutes and what? Statutes and judgments. The judgments is the fear, right? The judgments is that dread. I've shown you these judgments that I haven't shown any nation. When you guys mess up, these judgments come upon you, and there's nothing like it. That's that dread, right? I've shown you these things. That's the wisdom that I'm giving to you to get you back on the straight and narrow.
Right. Resist your devil, man. Resist your devil, because in that day, in that time of judgment, right? If you know that you're not worthy of salvation, which all of us are gonna think that we're not worthy of salvation, right? We're gonna be there thinking and hoping that we're a part of the elect. So when he says, "Well done, my good and faithful servant," you might break down in tears because you thought you deserved worse, right? But you don't want to be in that situation thinking I deserve worse, and you actually get worse, right? Keep going.
God. And torment him with her discipline.
Right. So like the brother said earlier, is that real? That chastity belt, right? Is that real? That looks medieval. That looks crazy, right? That looks like torment, right? But no, that's discipline. When Christ said, don't go to that tree, you can partake in any of these trees, but don't eat of this tree, right? That was torment to them. It was torment to Eve so much that she just had to do it. But all that was discipline. And that's the key to resisting the devil, is discipline. When they come up to you, when you're teaching somebody and the words is getting good, are you going to get out of character? Or are you going to keep discipline and stay on the mission, right? Are you going to keep discipline in your life when nobody's looking? You're going to keep discipline in your life when you can be secretive, right? When you can be on your phone and nobody knows what you're looking at. Nobody knows what you did today. Nobody know who you talked to today, right? Nobody know what thoughts came in your mind. Are you going to be disciplined in your thoughts, right?
God, man. His brother said like Denzel in the movie Flight. That's one of the movies I had in my mind, right? Another one is if you guys watch This Is Us, you know, all the Pearsons, they had a drinking problem. All of them had to sit in AA meetings and all of that stuff, and it happened to them too. You know what I'm saying? It's an ongoing thing. For some reason, man, people that are addicted to alcohol, they always find themselves in them hotel rooms at that mini bar, right? And that mini bar, it puts them to the test every time, right?
Yeah, that can I have a club soda spirit?
Right.
It's not no club soda, brother. That's vodka on the rocks, and you know it, right? But keep going.
Con, until she may trust his soul and try him by her laws.
Right? So when wisdom or the spirit of God can trust you, right? At that point, she knows that you have resisted the devil enough times to where she can then try you by her laws. She'll know that you'll be faithful unto death, right? So don't give in to the power of anything, because God has given you the power to resist all your fleshly devils, these low level fleshly devils, right? And understand spiritually, none of that matters. When it's that day, you either are getting rewarded for your deeds here on earth, and you realize, man, I'm in a spiritual body. When you're in that day, you're gonna realize, man, everything in this flesh, everything was a vision. It was a dream. It was a blink of an eye. It felt so real, but your spirit body feels realer, right? It feels more real. Whether you're getting tormented or whether you're getting everlasting life, those feelings are gonna be heightened. Those senses are gonna be heightened, right? It's not gonna feel like this flesh. This flesh, you're gonna think, how can I let something as small as that fleshly vehicle ruin my chances? That's how small it is, and we have to resist it, and eventually it's gonna flee away from us, and wisdom will come and trust us, right? She will trust our souls, and that's the whole point, man. So, Most High will, you were edified, right? Short but quick, but resist your devil, man. Wisdom. That's just some wisdom for you. Resist your devil. Question yourself and ask yourself, what's the devil in my life, right? What's the temptation in my life that I may need to chastise myself? Put a chastity belt on, right? It may be lawful, right? Or it may be unlawful, right? But you need to get it in check and have discipline, right? When you teach yourself discipline, it's only going to add to your life. It's going to add to your family. It's going to add to the friends around you. It's going to add to your financial situation. It's going to add to your spiritual situation, right? Discipline can only help you, right? Christ practiced discipline, right? Hey, if you don't have discipline, the Most High can't trust you with dreams, because some dreams he might tell you, hey, look, you cannot tell man, right? Right? Whether you was in body or out of body, you don't know, but the things you saw, you cannot utter, right? He can only trust certain people with that, right? And only those people that have discipline. So you need to make sure you have discipline in your life. Resist your devil, and your devil will flee. I'm Azrael.
Brother, don't know, man. I just want to say also, man, stay tuned for, if not tomorrow, Friday, right? Because the next lesson I do is gonna be pretty much piggybacking off of this through the spirit, right? And so it'll be a good one. But I'm Brother Dunall, man. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Hope you were edified. Shalom.
Shalom.